Morning again. This is another good day where we going to be again having our coding session. I wanted just to start the day today differently, uh, knowing where we are and the things that we are currently facing. As I mean, it's a global epidemic, and there's a lot of challenges in so many people's lives. So before we do our training today, I wanted just maybe to let's play this song. I mean, it's a very nice song that reminds us a lot of things. Yeah, I'm sure everybody surely remembers the song, and I hope it's audible. I was told that my volume was too low, so I will have to try to make sure that next time I've got the correct setting to be able to do this. But it's just really, really sometimes going through those set time when we have, uh, yeah, I mean, some people who are passing, people who are testing positive, numbers are not looking good. They are increasing every day, and I think now they're increasing in a very high speed too. So that's one of the things that we just need to really still consider, that staying at home is the most safest thing that you can do. And when you need to, I mean, like going to school to drop the kids, and for kids to at school and to go and buy food, then you should be able to go out. But if you are going out, let's make sure that we are sanitizing. We're keeping a safe distance from each other, and then more than anything else, that you are wearing the mask, because I think that's the only saver now, the only saver to this particular epidemic until we've got some of your uh, medication and all the stuff that can be used, vaccination more especially. We really, really need to look at how safe can you be. And as the president said in South Africa, it's all in your hands now. I mean, we need to be responsible, and we really need to make sure that you do part. By the way, again, we're gonna be doing a session two for what we started last week. Uh, we started on doing a block coding, basic block coding, and specifically who was helping us as our trainer, a very young trainer. She will tell you how old she is. She actually started us up and just show us what is block coding, and she tried to actually illustrate this using a very simple organizing party, coming up with the music, coming up with fireworks and all the different things, which then culminated and came together as a way of actually utilizing coding to activate music, activating dance, and to activate a couple of other entertainment things around that particular code. But what was nice about it was when she was doing it, she could show us exactly how the code looked like, which was a very impressive thing. And again, secondly, she could actually show us exactly how these things come together. And I like her way of doing trainings, by the way. she keep on asking us if ever there's any question, if there's any concern, if there's any comment, if we are following her. I mean, for a young trainer like her, it's actually a very impressive thing. And I think we really can learn a lot from her and the way she does things. So I want us just to maybe today to brace ourselves for yet another very good learning. I know majority of us been following GoDigital in so many spaces. They currently running the metric trainings that they are doing every day in the afternoon, where they are doing the metric readiness for the exam. And then they've been doing a lot again. Uh, there's some sessions starting with coding. I'm sorry, with coding and programming. Computer science basic is going to be happening on Tuesday, every Tuesday evening or early evening. And then I know for a fact that, I mean, you've been invited by so many other organizations to start actually doing some work with them in terms of just speaking about the fourth industrial revolution and being able just to again take them through around what exactly are we doing when you're talking coding, when you're talking robotics and all different things. So I think it has been a very interesting journey. Unfortunately, today again, I'm not having my partner or my twin in this particular journey, Zo. But I know next time when he's available, he's going to join us and we'll be able to work around with some of the things. And I know that, I mean, Letu is not here today again. So we're going to hold it up with Specific and try and just make sure that we run this session today successfully and be able to educate you as much as possible around how to do this. One thing that is must be noted, by the way, you don't need to actually still thinking about what degree do I have, which metric have I done, all those different things for you to start coding. I want us just to be honest to each other. You can start doing this coding. You can start putting things together, just learning the basics, because you can't just be talking about the fourth industrial revolution and talk about all these fancy things that people talk about every day without just understanding your own basics and understanding how to start. So this is our starting part. We just want to gain confidence that we can do this thing. We want to gain confidence that it's possible. So just join us, just understanding that we are really, really upping your part around understanding how possible it is for you to start doing block coding. So I'm going to bring my trainer, my young trainer that I'm proud about all the time, to start talking to us. Remember, my trainer is not going to have a video on because, I mean, she's still young. So the concern that we need to have so many around young people being shown on Facebook in video format. But again, it doesn't stop you from joining us with one of your kids just for them to learn from her. And she always really take through GoDigital as a foundation. She able to take questions and able again to answer some of the concerns that you might have or some of the learning. She's very competitive, by the way. She always keep on challenging a lot of people and saying she wants them. She wants to know what they are doing with what she's teaching them. So when the young one and yourself are joining, just understand that you are joining a very young person with a very good future when it comes to training and doing a lot of things around technology and digital skills. And again, she loves challenging people. So let me get her in. Specifically, can you hear me? Are you there? They said that in the
Yes.
concert. You are here. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Good
Specifically.
and you?
Whoa, it's Saturday. I could be good if I was sleeping and trying to recover from a very long week that I had, doing a lot of things. How was school this week?
It was a bit stressful because on Friday we had to move back to our classroom. So
What do you mean moving back to your classroom? How can it be stressful to move back to your classroom?
we were sitting in a hall, but now that we were moving, there was a lot of people walking to the
Ah,
hall.
okay. Were you worried about being infected or what were you worrying?
I was worried that somehow there was going to be someone who was tested positive because of the moving up and down through the school, getting our stuff to class.
Mm. Okay, but I'm sure your school actually do the testing and checking every time you guys come in. They do screening.
Yes,
Okay, so
they
you should, yeah. Okay, come again.
they sanitize, then check our temperature.
Okay, so your school is following the process check correctly.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think you should be stressing that much then. You should be happy that you are moving to your class and you're going to do things. And by the way, because some of the people are joining us for the first time, just please remind them how old you are, And when did you start coding?
I started coding when I was 6. That's 7 years ago.
6 years
And
old. You were 6. You started coding. Say, just say it again. I want to make sure that we clear on that one.
yes, I was 6.
You were 6 years.
I started my first course.
Okay, that's very good. So how old are you now? 6 years down the line. So how old are you now?
I am 13. Well,
Okay.
turning 13.
Okay. So what do you enjoy about coding? So what actually has made you to stay coding every time for such a long time?
It teaches us what to do in the few levels. Then on the last level, it lets us do our own thing and be creative with what we have.
Ah, that's cool. And by the way, if you think about your schoolwork and you think about coding, does it help you anywhere? Is there any improvement on your marks? Does it help you with anything? Is there any skills that it helps you with in your schoolwork?
Yes, it helps with my math because then I remember the easier way of doing the math.
Mhm.
And it sometimes helps me with English and computers.
Okay, so you're saying that it's helping with your math, because I mean it teaches you exactly some of the things and you remember some angles based on the fact that you have been doing your code, and you said it helped with your English because you learn how to read with logic understanding so that you can implement instruction, and then the other part you said it helped you with your computers because you do some computer in your course, yeah.
Yes.
That's very nice. So I want us to maybe, if you remember last week, what did you teach us last week? Can you just recap very quickly, very high level? What was the last week course about? What did you teach us?
I taught the dance party and I showed how to do the block movements, block code, and how to get the character to move and do nice dances.
Oh, okay, that's very nice. And I remember that you even challenge other people to say they must start using the block coding and to see exactly what they can do and what they can learn. That is a very good, nice thing that you have done for us. And I think a couple of people have actually appreciated that as young as you are able to teach them and give them some really context around coding and how to do code. Okay. So now I want us just maybe to remind us, where do we get all these lessons that you're teaching us and that you're going to be teaching us? I remember there's a website that you shared with us and said that where we start, we have to go. Where do we go? Where do we start?
Um, yes, I remember that site. So you search code.org,
Okay.
then it,
So maybe let me step you specifically. Do you want us maybe to open up another browser that site and then you maybe share a screen and show us on a separate browser how to start, and then we then go to what you're going to teach us today in another browser? Are you going to be able to do that?
yes.
Okay, share your screen again so everybody can see it.
So here is the browser. So you search code.org. For most of you, it will go to like this. For some of you, it'll go straight to code.org. So if you're new, it
What
would
will
go.
make me go straight to code.org, and what will make it other people to go through this?
So
Because if I haven't done it before, it's gonna just go me to Google. If I've done it before and I've already have an account, it's gonna go straight to code.org. Is that the reason?
yes,
Ah, okay, I get it. So you are saying to us, if ever we just remind each other, can you go back again, just to make sure that people remember? And you remember, we have to go very slow because some of us have never done this before. So we always like to learn very slowly so that you do it again. So we said we're going to google.com, and then from there end, you said we are actually searching from Google. So do the search for us so we can understand it.
so code, if some of you don't know how to spell code, CODE dot org, ORG.
Excellent. Okay. You even making sure that you're spelling it correctly. And then when we click there, you said you're gonna go to the next one, which is gonna be
Which will be here, if you don't have a account yet, it will go somewhere else, but I'm already signed in, so it would take me to my dashboard where I was doing my work.
I think one thing that you can say to everybody, if ever you don't have an account and you have never done it before, what you need to do here, you will go to Special's training last week where she covers exactly how to create your own account. But today we're going to focus in doing the next exercise that you want to teach us today. So specifically, I want us to give it over to you, and I want us just to tell us exactly what you're going to be teaching us today, and then take us through the class for today. Thank you. I will be listening, and I'll ask questions if I don't understand.
Okay. So this time it's what we're doing is different, but it is fun. So as you can see, there's a lot of categories on the project section. It shows what projects you can do. So there's Sprites Lab, Artist, App Lab, and Game Lab. You can look at the whole list, but I would rather not go through that whole thing. So I'm going to start with App Lab. I have heard from other people who has done this, like my friends that I taught. This one is fun because this is actually my first time. So you open App Lab. So I don't know if
if I ask specifically, I see that you're opening an app lab there. So the app lab will be a place where I actually create apps. If it says app lab, it means it's where I can design a legal app and see exactly and learn how to design an app. Is that correct?
Yes, but I think this one's the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
So
That's not the one you want to teach us today.
yes.
Okay.
So don't go to the project below if you're just starting.
Okay.
Yeah, you must go to create.
Okay. There you are. Okay.
And then there's App Lab. Sorry.
Okay. That's fine. See, we are learning, all of us.
So I don't know why it keeps sending me here. Course catalog.
Maybe specifically, don't you think it's about the grade that you are in? Because in this account, you might be finding that you are much more, you are using somebody else's account, who's all might be showing the older part. So do you want to go according to grade and go to one by one? If not, or you want to go to your old account, maybe show us in your account where you've done it before?
I will try.
You can sign out. So what is interesting, by the way, because she has done so many trainings, she's tried to log in as somebody else for her to be able to do this with us. So she's going to go back to her account. What will happen in her account, maybe some of the things she has already done, she will actually take us through slowly within what she has done, maybe go back to step by step. So log in specifically for us. You can actually take off your screen and you can log in and then come back and show us the screen.
Okay, let me get everything better.
We will wait, don't worry. We love waiting when you are learning. So if ever you just take off your screen, then from then come back to the screen which you're gonna use to train us today.
So there is a problem here.
Yes.
It has shown more levels that have been done already.
Okay, so you need to show us a screen because we don't see what we are talking about. So
okay. So here, that means you've had done the levels.
So why don't you start from level 1? Why don't you click on level 1? Okay, click on level 1. There you are.
Okay, so as I said last week, is that you can watch the videos, go over the videos actually. I'm not saying you can, you have to. Otherwise you won't understand what's going on. So let me first make sure if I can do it, like watch only this video with you then.
That should be nice.
So, yeah.
My name is Meilani. I'm an internetcode.org, and I'm also a computer science student. I like computer science because it's really creative. I get to be the problem solver. I get to make everything function how I want it to. But I also get to be the designer. I get to be the artist and choose everything and the creative side of it. Making your own apps is easy with AppLab. Whether you're new to coding or have some experience, AppLab is a great tool for building new apps and sharing them with your friends. This is AppLab. On the left side is your app. On the right side is the code that will make it run. You build your program by dragging in blocks from the toolbox. To start, you'll just have one block called setProperty. The setProperty block changes the look of the elements on your screen, like the buttons, labels, or even the screen itself. First, you need to decide which element you want to change. If you hover over an element in your app, you can see its name or ID here. Then go select that ID from the first dropdown. Elements have lots of properties you can change, like their text color, background color, or font size. You can see the full list and choose which property you want to change in the second dropdown. The last dropdown is where you'll write the value you want to use. The block will make a suggestion for you, but you can always type in different colors or numbers yourself. Once you're done, the block reads a bit like a sentence. Set button 1's background color to green. Hit run to see the changes you're building in code. If you reset, you can drag in more blocks to change other things about your app, like the text. For this tutorial, we'll be working in block mode, but AppLab also supports working in text. Either way, you'll be programming in JavaScript, the language of the web. Each level has a goal, instructions, and an image of what you're aiming to create. If you're ever stuck, click on this picture, and I'll show you exactly how to complete the level. But see if you can do it on your own first. Once you've completed the goal for this level, click Finish to move on. That's all there is to it. Hit the orange Continue button to go to the next level. Start your adventure with AppLab.
Wow, so that is a video that we must watch, and you said specifically we should watch and make sure we learn from it, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's go in then. I think we're just gonna continue. I know that some of the code is already there, so you will just delete your code and start with us slowly utilizing the code, if that's possible. Yes, take us through.
So as it says here, it says make the screen green. So as you heard, you should drag this block here. So here on the right, you can see the green screen. It shows what it should look like once you have finished. So it says screen 1, which is right, background color, which is also right. But what I want you to do is type in the color you're gonna put, as the video says.
Okay.
So
once, can I just ask you specifically, if I can see the screen is different from last week, can you explain to us what are the different places on the screen that we're seeing today? So that we all know what you're seeing.
So this is the toolbox where you'll get all the other stuff, but it will keep adding, as I said last week. So buttons will keep adding and you can put more stuff. Here is the screen, like your phone. It shows a phone screen where you're working. So there's these two buttons. One of them, I don't know what it does. This one, it shows the text. So as she said, you can type in what you want. So if I go back to my workspace and delete this, I can actually write what I want.
So this is the part where where you are actually setting up and writing the code instead of blocking the code or sending the code as a block. Is this
Yes.
correct? Okay. And this code is JavaScript. I did not have heard what you said. It is a JavaScript, which is the code that we're using here.
Yes.
Okay. So we have done the green screen now. Just show us the result.
Once you press run, it should look like this.
Ah, okay. So can I just test something specifically? If you change there and write yellow or write red, it's gonna change to red. Can you just maybe show us that? Maybe two other colors. Let's see.
Okay. Let's say yellow. You press reset, and when you say run, it turns yellow.
So in this code, I can say set property for screen one. So this is our screen one. If you do other screen, that will say set property screen two. And again,
Yes.
it says here what we're doing. We are actually doing the background color. Can you maybe go to where it says screen one and just click on that? Let me just see what when you drop it, what's gonna be there. On set property screen one. Set, not that part at the yes, under your workspace, yes. Okay.
For
And then
now,
the
it will just show screen one, but as you go, they will add.
Okay.
So
And then the background color. Can you just click on that one?
they will add to this too.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. So this is our tools that we are using today. Okay. We can
Okay.
continue.
Once you press finish, you can continue. I know it's not the same code, but don't just press finish if it doesn't look the same.
And specifically, can you just go on top of the of your phone? Just on the phone, on your phone on the left, yes. Just top in the middle, not in the middle of the phone. We spoke about this yesterday, that this is a very interesting illustration of the mathematics part. If you can see when specifically is putting the cross in between, it actually shows the x-axis and y-axis. If you go to the corner left, specifically all the way up to the left corner of the phone, all the way up, all the left, you can see there. So that means our 0y and 0x is at that point, because that's where x becomes 7 and y is 0. So if you remember your mathematics, or if you're doing any maths, you will remember that there's y-axis being what is vertical, and then there's x-axis is okay. Let me just make sure. So x-axis is vertical and y-axis is horizontal. So specifically, we go down, don't go up, go down, and then y is gonna if I go down to your left again, yes. So you can see that our y-axis is becoming bigger because y is horizontal, and then our x-axis is vertical. If you go to right, basically, then you see that even now our go back up again, up. Let's make y at least 5. Y should be 5. Go way up. So y will be 5. So now you can see that in that particular point of the corner, it actually says the x-axis, which is vertical, is 314, meaning it's bigger, but in terms of horizontal, we are still on top. So this is the other part that shows us, by the way, that coding and mathematics, it works very well together, and it teaches even geometry whenever you're still doing it. This is going to be very important in future as we learn in coding, just to understand how do you position object and your writing when you are being given y-axis and x-axis. Okay, specifically, sorry for stepping on that one. Can you continue with the motion that you were giving us?
So we have the button, but if you look at the other screen, the example, it says make me bigger and blue. So what you're gonna do is make this text you see on the screen, and it says make me bigger and blue. You want to do that. So
Is that particular instruction, so it means is that what you see on the instruction on top, I will assume. Is that what you
yes.
say? The goal is make the text bigger and blue. Okay, thank you very much.
So label 11, if that's, yeah. So text, we're gonna make the text bigger at first. think so. I am stuck, so I am gonna look
I
at
think in that particular and specific, if I remember, it just says that you must use the very same property, just one property, and then it says that you put the label, and then you put the font size, and then from then you say for how long, how big it should be. So I think for me, it's that particular property, the one that is the next one. Ah, okay.
yeah, font size.
Yes.
Thank you. And then we're gonna make it
80 says.
80 if you look at the screen. Here it says 72, so you're just gonna type the 80. Then now for the second property, it's already on text color, so you say you want to make it blue.
Blue. Yeah. We got
And
it
once
right.
you have done that, you press run and you're done.
Can we just do it again? I think we had a little bit of hackies there, so we can just do it again so we make sure everybody's following us.
So you'll be at this page. Then if you move this block, you will have label 11. You'll
Okay.
go to the text color.
Okay.
And it'll say font size. So you'll press on that. It says in the instructions that you have to make the font size 80. So 80. Then once you've typed that in, you're gonna add another set property. It already gave me text color, so that's fine. So what you're gonna do is go here. You can type or you can go to this arrow and select blue, but I'll type. So you get blue. Then when you press run, that's what happens. The cone will.
Okay, that means that we have actually finished this particular part because that was the instruction you're given.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's go to the next one.
Press finish and continue. So I wanted to say before I do this whole thing, if you look right at the top, not all the way at the top, but like at the top, you can see diamonds, circles, diamonds, white circles. So some people might be wondering what that is. So the diamonds means that it's a video. The circles means it's a course, the code you have to do. So nearly all of mine are green because I have done the code. And then the two that are white means I haven't done the code. So the two, I haven't done two, but yeah, I've done the rest.
But it's fine, Goba. Basically today we are working with people who have not done the code. So everything with them, theirs won't be the same as yours. So don't worry, just move your code out and then we'll put it back as we teach people how to do it.
So as this one says, is that we have to make these two buttons.
So delete your code first. Don't forget to delete your code from the workspace because we have to start with everybody.
Yes, don't forget that. So you start with a blank page. So it says, if you saw in the video, if you go on the button, sure there is the X, Y, and Y, but there's the ID button. It's the ID of what you see, so you know what it is. So here it says ID button 1. So you take the set property and look for button 1. As I said, it would be adding, so it has been adding. So button 1, we want to change the background color. So you will go to the background color. And the color is already set for me, but it says it needs to be red. Now for the second one, because you can see they're both changed. So the second one says make me blue. So the ID says it's button 2. What you're gonna do is go to button 2, go to background color, and do blue. So let me see what happens when I press run. Okay, so I didn't add one of the things. So it says label 11 for the one that says write code to change my text. So once it's label 11, so yes, then when you have to go to text, you type in, I don't think it gives it to you, but you type in what you're gonna write. So I should write welcome to my app with the exclamation mark. Once you press run, you have finished. Then you press finish.
Okay, so can you go out? Okay, move fast for us. Remember, one thing that is key and very important in this particular trainings, basically, we always have to take it slow and repeat again because some of us have never done this. So I'm busy doing this on my phone. And if you move faster, sometimes I lose it because I get lost because I'm still trying to put the things we are doing. So for some of people who are watching out there, they might be trying this while you're doing it. Just maybe repeat and pause a little bit and just check with them. Okay. But it's fine. We can continue to the next one.
So here is another video.
Are you gonna watch this one with us again? Let's watch it together. I think we've got time today. We can watch them together.
It's really cool because it's kind of like starting your own business. I mean, you get to design everything from the ground up. You get to manage everything, and you're the owner of this piece of work that you just created with code. Now that you can change the look of your app, let's make it interactive by responding to events. Events are user actions, like clicking a button, scrolling through a menu, or hovering over a picture. Interactive apps need ways to respond to events, like playing a sound when I click this button. To do this in App Lab, you'll need to use a new block called onEvent. This program sets the screen to blue. I want the screen to turn green when I click this button. First, I'll need to drag in an onEvent block. By hovering, I know the button's ID is big button, so I'll select that in the first dropdown. Next, I'll choose the type of event. There's lots of options you can pick from, but right now I'll leave it as a regular old click. Finally, I'll add code inside the onEvent that will change the background color of the screen. You can read this block like a sentence. On the event that the button is clicked, run all this code. Test it. Blocks outside an onEvent still run right away. The screen starts blue. And when I click the big button, the code inside my onEvent runs, and my screen turns green. If you want to change more things after the event, like the text on the screen, just add more code to the onEvent. To make your program respond to more events, add more onEvent blocks. Just make sure not to put them inside of each other. Now it's time to try it out for yourself. Have fun!
Okay, let's do it, Specifica. Teach us how to do it ourselves.
So as you heard, there is a on event button. Let me just move this. Yes. She taught us how to do this one, but I want to know that we can go through this. So let me see. So it's set property, the background blue. It would come out like this. So this is how your screen will come out once you press next to continue. So she said we have to add an on event button. So then after putting the on events button, we have to see what button it is. So big button. You go to the ID and you press big button. As she said, there's a lot more that you could put, but for now, we're gonna stay on click. So I will do a recap now for the on event button. So you'll add the on event button. Since this is big button, you'll put big button as the ID. There is more, but we leave it as click. So set property, you put the set property block inside of the on event. If you don't know how to do that, you drag it. Instead of going under, you go in and it will do the rest. So then it says change the screen background color. So that has already been put out there. So it says set property screen 1 background color will be, they say we should put a green. So green. As soon as you hit run, it will be blue. Don't worry, you didn't do your code wrong. Once you have hit greenify, it turns green. So I will do this again. You're on your set property. You already have that. So when you go to on events, ID big button. When you go to big button, it gives click already for now. You take your set property inside the block. You go to screen 1, background color is already chosen. Then you choose green. It will turn blue, but once you press greenify, it'll turn green. So after this, I would be taking questions. So if you want to ask a question, just start typing like now. But if you don't have questions, you don't have to ask. So it says that we have to add the code, and when we press on, it should turn white. And the flashlight app, that text should turn black. Then when we press off, it should turn black and the flashlight app text should turn white. So we're going to start with the on button. I will be going through this slowly and yes. So the on button. I know you will have already got this code. So I just deleted everything and it changed what I was doing. So on button, color. So I already gave you that. Oh, sorry. Right. Then another one, background color. Oh, sorry. Already done that. So then now it gives you this on events, on button, click function, this whole thing. So you don't have to worry about doing it.
We are worried specifically because we see what you are tracking and changing, but you have to take us through again slowly, one by one, on what you were doing.
I was trying to rebuild the code. So it's the on events button. So when you click on, the background will change white and the text color would go black, but I can't seem to find it. Let me see if that is.
Type black there, because I remember you said to us we can still type it if it's not there. Doesn't he have to have a quotation marks first when you're typing it?
It's showing a bit of problems, so let me see.
The other way is to write, yeah, there you are. Can you write black? Let's see.
Sorry. I'll have to go through that part again. Sorry if this is taking long and you. So you are writing black.
There you are. Thank you. It can take the longest it can take, basically. The only thing we need to know, we need to make sure that you are learning, and we appreciate your time, and we are appreciating that you are very patient with us.
So then you're gonna add another on events button, but this one on events, but this one is the off button. When it is clicked, you should add set property, the other block, not the on event. Once you've added the set property, it should be the off button. Then the background color should turn black. So I'm gonna type it. And then once you've done that, you're gonna add another set property. But on the off button, and the text, you're gonna choose text color, and it should be white. So as you can see right now from the code, I have done more than what I started with. So for the people who want to take this slowly, what I did was I said set property from the off button. I put it on event off button. Remember, it should be off button. So once that is done, set property, and it should be off button. The background color should be black. We don't want a mistake by saying red or blue or green. it should be black. Once you add another set property and change the text color to white. Once you have done that, you must press run. I don't know why it's not working. Let's see. Sorry, the set property, the second one, should be label 11. Then for this other set property, it should be screen 1. So I have changed the code. You will see some difference in it. For the first set property, it should be screen 1. And then for the second one, it should be label 11. So let's see if we can do this now. I don't see what is wrong right now. So as you can see, I'm using the question. It's like a question kind of type when you're confused. It shows you what you're doing wrong. Should be working. Yes, it should be working. I don't know why it's not working.
You might just need maybe to start again to get to that level again and just do it again. Don't you think so?
Yes, I will try. Let me start from the beginning, where I was.
It's always a better thing. You can just take everything off and then start again, following instructions. Remember, the part of the winning here, it should be step by step. Maybe this will work. Let's try and see this one because I can see that your property 1 and property 2 is joined. Let's just see if there is work if we join the properties.
It is giving problems right now. I don't know why.
Well, that's what happens if ever we're training live and utilizing the live part and you're not staging anything. You can clear the code, I think, and then just start again on the code and see if it's gonna work.
Okay. So you should be given already the set property. I'm just going to hurry up and get this.
Don't hurry up. I think for me, just check the clue now. So you've done 2. Let's go and check in the clue if ever we're meeting the requirement.
So
It says in the clue, it says there is screen 1. I want you to choose the first property. The first property should be what? On button.
The first property they have already put for you.
Oh, okay.
So mine, I deleted it. So.
Oh, okay. The second one.
So it's screen 1, background black.
Yep.
Then set property.
Let's go and do that one first. It says screen 1 black. Let's
background color black.
Yes, let's go and do that one only.
So let me just change this.
Black background color.
What is happening? So
yes, there you are. I was going to ask you just go and give me a second event. You're doing the first one. Okay, give me the first part. No, leave the first one. Why are you changing the first one?
So for the second one, off button.
Yes.
You add the set property. Screen 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add another set property. Label 11. So what you're going to do for label 11 is change the text color And for screen 1, the background color.
Can you just go and check on the clue just to make sure we're doing that? Yes. So it says it. Let's go step by step. The first property that comes in, it changes there into what? Screen 1, and then it goes there and says black. Can you do that on just one step, so basically the time?
Okay. So set property background color we have already had.
Yes. Mhm.
Then black.
Yes. Thank you. And then let's go to the clue and look at the second part.
It will restart every time
It's
I
fine.
go out.
It's okay. That we are patient enough today because we are learning something big today. And then the second one is gonna put in set property for the property for the
Set
second one.
property.
Yeah,
It
and what can
says
change it? Label
level
11,
11.
and then it says
Text color.
text color,
And
and
it
it says
will be
what?
white.
Okay, let's go and do that now.
So label 11 as I've added. Then the text color.
Mhm.
So now you should change the text color to
White.
white.
Can
And
I
you
go back to the code in line number 3? Yes, I was gonna ask you to change that particular part. Okay.
So I will change it to the black. Okay, so let's see if it works now.
Oh, today
No.
is not working for us.
Yeah.
This is the difficulty of it sometimes because we are doing a very bad. I mean, this is our live demo and a live check. So there's something that's wrong with the coding. It's not really working and be able to put together what we're looking at. Maybe let's move to the next stage. Then try to see if ever we can be able to move on with the code specifically.
Okay. Before we watch this video, I want to know if there was questions because I asked if people could.
Yeah, currently there's no question online specifically. I'm busy monitoring them. You don't have any question, you can continue.
Okay, so we'll watch this video together.
Next, you'll learn about adding images and sounds to your app. Let's start by checking out the sound options. In the toolbox, you'll find a new block called Play Sound. Drag it into the workspace. You can pick a sound to play by clicking the drop-down, then clicking Choose. From here, you can either upload a sound file from your computer or search for a sound from the sound library. The sound library has lots of different categories: instruments, background music, or animals. Once you've got the sound you want, click Choose. When this block runs, it'll play the sound you chose. To add images to your elements, you can just use the Set Properties block. Select the Image property in the second dropdown. Then select Choose from the third dropdown. From here, you can upload an image from your computer, or you can look through a huge library of icons in the Icon library. Back in code mode, you can use the Set Property block to change the icon color of your icon. Once you've picked what image or icon to use, click Run to see how it looks. That's all there is to it. Now you can start adding images and sounds to make your apps even more fun and dynamic.
So as we saw in the video, you can upload pictures, but right now we don't have time to upload and go through the whole process of waiting for the photos. So I will use the icon. So we continue. So then after that, Let me delete all my code.
Why don't you just use clear code in the bottom? Because it will be faster.
It doesn't work. So
You did not code it right.
So yeah, it says that we have to add an on event button and set the ID to button 4. And then we have to drag a play sound into the on event button and choose a sound from the library. So since we're doing that, ID button, button 4, when clicked play sound, as you heard in the video, there will be a choose block. So you'll get to choose animals and you can choose different ones. It gives you different ones. So I'm gonna do a cow. So then once you have the first on events button, you will do a set property outside of the block. Make sure it's outside of the on event. So it says that you have to use the on ID. I'm going to choose a tiger, the second button, and then go to image. I don't have any uploaded images that could relate to a tiger. I've only got wolf because I'm that type of person. So I will look through the icons and pick one. So what I'm going to pick is honestly, I don't really know what I'm gonna pick, but I'll pick the YouTube. Yeah, the camera. Yeah, I'll pick the camera. So then once you've picked the camera, it says that we have to add one more set property to change the button's text. So I'm gonna change that to button 4. I changed it to button 4 because I realized they wanted us to work on one button for now. So once we've done that, button 4, remember, set property, button 4. So then now they want us to do the text. Before I do the text, I want to change the icon color. So I will change it to gray. Yeah, gray. So once I've changed that, I'll add another set property because it's optional to change the color. And I've chosen. So once you've done that, ID button 4, we're changing the text. We want to write something in button 4. So what we're gonna say is, what I'm gonna write is moo. There's a cow. So once I have written that, I will press run. And when I press, I just saw that you cannot see the color, so I'm going to change the color to a bright color like pink. because that's very bright. So once we have reset, run, then so once you have done that, finish, of course, then you continue. There's another video. This one,
Yeah, okay, carry on, sorry.
so I have watched the videos, and this one is the most important one of all because it tells you about the designing, how you can design stuff, add buttons and everything. That is the most important video. So I will.
We'll watch it.
Yes, we'll watch it.
To build your own apps, you're going to need to start designing screens and elements from scratch. App Lab makes this easy to do with design mode. Use the switch on top of your app to go into design mode. You can add new elements by dragging them onto the screen. You can move them around to different locations and change their size by dragging the bottom right corner. Change an element's properties. Use the controls on the right. For example, it's really easy to change this button's text, color, and font size. When you add a new element to your screen, it'll get a generic ID like button 1. It's a good idea to change this ID to something more meaningful, like right button, so that you'll know which one it is when you go to the program. If you add an element to your app by mistake, just drag it out or hit delete. You can add entirely new screens to your app by dragging in a screen element. From the drop-down at the top, you can quickly switch back and forth between the screens you create. Inside your app, you'll need a way to switch between all of these screens. The Set Screen block has been added to the toolbox. Use Set Screen inside an On Event block to change screens at the click of a button. In the next few levels, you'll be working on a single project. First, you'll add a button, then you'll add a new screen, and finally, you'll write code so that the button switches to the new screen.
So we have watched the video and we have 3 more courses to go. The last course is optional, so I'm gonna try to delete everything I did. I wanna see if I can delete everything I have. So delete this, yes. Delete this, yes. Delete. No. So we have our start screen. So our start screen, I don't know where it is. Screen 1, okay. So they say that, sorry, the sets the ID of right button. So in design mode we have to drag a button. So I'm gonna drag this button here. This is a new page, but I couldn't find I couldn't restart. I don't know why, but it wouldn't let me start from the beginning. And so I'm just gonna make my own screen. So I will name this button A. So you can change the color, and that's what I will do. I'm gonna change it to more of a light green, or yeah, a light blue so you can see. So then I'm going to change the color of, sorry, wrong one. The color of the text. So you can just press here and get the color, so black. And once you've selected black, the button turns black. Then, as you heard, the font size, I want to change it to 30, or because you can change it to any, you just have to type the numbers down. I'm going to go to 60. No, because what I'm going to write is quite long, 40. So you can go to text, and on that button, you can write something like, so you can write different stuff. So I'm just going to say 2. I'm going to stick with that. This is kind of cool because you get to change the size of the button. You can move where you want it to go. And it's kind of fun. So the people who don't get it and are just sitting there confused, I'm going to simplify it, make it feel simple, and you'll understand. So once you add a button, I'm going to start a new button. So it will give you a button name, but you can change it. I'm going to turn it to button B. So when I say button B, it shows that the name of the button. So here's button A if I go to it, and button B if I go to it. So I hope you understand that part.
You want to separate button and B so that the clicks and you can look to separate your
Yes.
ID number. Oh, okay.
So you know which is which.
Yes.
So I'm going to change the text. So I'm going to change it to, let's see. So since my button is too small for my text, you can change the size. And you can move it around, but here I'm going to keep it right here. So then once you're done with that, you can change the color of the background for the button. I'm going to change this one to purple. And you can move this dot to any place to get it. So I'm going to make this a bit bigger, because as I see, it's not that big. So once you have that, you can change. I don't know what is happening. So you can change the text color. So I'm going to change it to black. Once you've changed it to black, because you can still do different colors, but I want to put it as black. So as black, you can change the fonts to different fonts. So I'm going to change it to comic. Then you can change the font size. So I'm also going to say 30. So you can keep changing it if you want, 50. As you change, it goes that size. So what you have here is the buttons. Then you're going to go to code. You have the left screen. I don't know if I can. Yes, I can. So you can add another screen. And I'm going to call it right screen. Wait, sorry, button B screen, because we don't have left and right on this. Button B screen. So then you can change the background color of the screen. So you can change it to maroon, black. You can stay white if you want it. So I'm gonna change it to, since button B is purple, I'm gonna change it to a really deep purple. You can add a picture. I will, but I don't think I can do it with you watching the screen, because if it will go straight to my file and show some of the pictures I have. So I will add, let's see, a puzzle. Once you've done that, there is other stuff you can put, like drop down and text input, so you can text what's there. You can add a label if you want. So at the label, I'm gonna write label B. So it is a quite cool code. You can write and you can write what you want. You can change the color of your that. You can change the text color. Then you can change the font size to, let's say, 21, 60. So it's your choice on what you want. So I'm going to stick with 30. Right up here. So once you've done that, people can type here. So we're going to go to code and start at screen 1. So on events, if you add an on events button and press button B, when it's clicked, then you can set screen to the one we have, screen button B screen. And then I want to set a sound. So when you press that button, it makes a sound. So I'm going to go to digital. So if you want to know what they are, you can just press on the buttons. So I'm going to choose this one. So then once that is done, reset. You want to set property first. I forgot that. To the button B. You wanted button B. Let's see what we can get. So let's see if it will. I have had some problems with this. Okay, so now I get it. Set screen to button B screen. So once, sorry, wrong screen. To screen 1. So then what will happen is you're here. Once you've pressed this button, and you can type,
L-E, puzzle, L-E.
So once you've done that, sorry about the misspelling, I'm used to EL because I have more Afrikaans lessons in school.
Okay.
So once you've done that, you can press finish.
Okay.
Continue.
I wanted us to end here today because I think we have taken a lot of time going slow on this. Was there anything critical that you wanted to say or wanted to show before we close?
Yes, actually. Let's go back to the one I did. So if you press share, you can send it to a phone. So if I send it to a phone, I can send it to my parents, my friends, my phone, and it will basically be like an app. So yeah, I will, whilst you are giving your introduction out, I'll send this app to you, and if it has sent to you, you can tell that you have it. So if that's okay.
That's okay. You can just kill your screen, then you can do that. So one thing I just wanted to say as we finish up today, it was a very lengthy one. So normally when Specita is doing this, she takes half a day just taking people through it and training them, and they're able to work and play with it. So maybe what I'm gonna do with her, I mean, with her permission, and I know her exams are coming up, is to actually maybe set up a Zoom for half a day. If ever you want to get some of your kids to join her, for that she can train them, I mean, that's up to yourself. We'll put the invitation out, put the Zoom ID and Zoom password, and you will have to register because it will be for kids and just to make sure we can control for security. And
saying that there is a problem.
Okay, that's fine. Specifically, I think for me, it's okay. I think today I want just to wrap up saying it's very lengthy, but one of the nice thing about it, I think we know all of us, if we go to code.org, we can be able to get this, and you just go to App Lab, and then you'll be able to get exactly what you was using today. The most critical thing about it is really an ability for you to build a legal app where at the end she showed that you can then share that app with other people and start using it. That is just a direct side load. That is going to be for a person just to test and see if ever it works correctly. So today, I think we'll end up here. I mean, we end up where we have actually put together a very good process around how you can start an app and how you can build up using block code and how you can build it using a design of that particular phone that you are using. So I want just to make sure that we keep it short, we keep it like we've done today, and learning. There is a lot of learning that comes with this. So before I close or before I switch off, just a reminder again, from Monday up until Saturday, GoDigital, in partnership with Tyler Bank, they actually have a matric online. They call it Tyler Edu, where they're actually preparing matric utilizing Facebook and utilizing, YouTube, and going through some past matric papers. And they've got a very best teachers and former teachers who are actually taking people through on how this get marked and how do you actually make sure you maximize your point and you can end your point. Tune in. It's at 4 o'clock up until 5. I think it's run for an hour, and you're able to really to grasp a lot of good things. And the specific subject they are doing. So if you go to GoDigital SA Foundation page on Facebook, you will get all the details around which subject fit within that. I know that there's physical science, there is mathematics, and there is, accounting, and I think there is English, and they are doing Zulu. And most of this, by the way, what I like about it, they are not just doing these courses because they can do courses, but they are doing these courses and they try to explain very deeply and try to interpret them in a vernacular language just to make sure that everybody can understand. And again, this coming Tuesday, we're starting up with the introduction to computer science, and Uncle Dave will be running it, starting at 6 in the early evening. And again, there is going to be a poster being given out in GoDigital SA Foundation, and the login detail. You can be able to catch him up on Zoom, or you can catch him up on Facebook or on YouTube. So I think today it's a wrap, and thank you very much for spending time with us. And I know more people are going to be learning on this. Specifically, I want to say goodbye. Specifically, before you say bye.
I just wanted to say, it would be nice if you could share this link and tell your friends about this and get other people to know about it. So there's more people watching and are aware of what we can do with computer science, code.org, buttons. So I would like if you could either share this video or share the account. So I wanted to say that, and bye. I'll be going now.
Thank you very much, Specifically. We really appreciate your time. Enjoy your studying, and I hope you pass your exams so that you can go to your next grade. And we really appreciate the time spending just with us to teach us how to go good on this particular one. So let's go digital. I mean, that's the only reason that we're doing this every Saturday. And it's a very nice reflection and time with each other. We really appreciate your time and we appreciate your effort. Let's learn, and I mean, the fourth industrial revolution is here. Let's keep safe. Let's wear those masks. Let's keep a safe distance, and let's sanitize the hands, because it's up to us to beat this COVID. Thank you very much.